Many of you have requested that I talk about toxicity within the family unit. There are many people, aren't there, like intellectuals, post-structuralists, feminists, that believe that the nuclear family itself is a kind of construction that limits individual freedom and stymies creativity. I was thinking about my choice to be a person in a family. I mean, not my family of origin, where, of course, like all of us, I was just sputtered out in a series of orgasms and gestations into this beautiful little world. I'm thinking more about the family that I choose to be a part of now, the one where I'm a father, my wife is a mother, my daughters are children. I think it's curious. I wonder how much autonomy I really had in this decision, and how much I was simply obeying the dictates of the culture I was born into. People have always bred, of course. People have always been parents, of course. But dear Wendy Mandy, under the skin guest and shaman, said that we are designed to live tribally, that we are, like, don't you, from anthropology, that there are tribes where the word father is applied to all the males of the tribe and the word mother all the females of the tribe, and that some kids don't really pay particular attention to which one is their actual father. And haven't you, through your life, selected other mothers and other sisters and other brothers, other siblings and cousins, your true tribe, the tribe that you have found? I suppose what you're asking, those of you that when you're talking about toxicity within the family, is the idea that you don't get on and feel trapped by your circumstance, and somehow your family become emblems of that feeling of being trapped. I mean, there are myriad possibilities of, there's lots of ways that relationships can go wrong. Rejection of the mother, what do I imagine that means, or what that must feel like? It must be painful to feel dislocated from the father, or that the father is absent. Very, very painful, I imagine. But my deepest belief system, the one that I have access to that's most deep currently, is that all relationships are a manifestation of some latent or potentially inherent aspect of yourself. Not to say there isn't such a thing as a bad father or a difficult mother or a wayward cousin or a dickwad auntie. More that, what is it that is provoked in you through relationship? This I believe to be both true, but practicably true, meaning that if you treat it as true that what bothers you about another person is that something within you is being affected by them, you have the ability to control and alter it. If I just see myself as the sort of hapless victim of other people's whims and wills, then what am I going to do about the world? What am I going to do about my life? When am I going to step off the rails laid down for me by a culture that doesn't care about me, that couldn't really care about me, that doesn't know me? How am I going to wrench up that rails, click myself off and march off into the great unknowable? I won't, will I? Whereas if I sort of take responsibility for my own personal relationships, then the possibility of freedom continually exists. I say rewrite your life, editorialise yourself, become who you believe yourself to be. You will need to have structures, systems and mentors at some point, otherwise you might just become some meaningless, nebulous flesh splat achieving nothing in the world, sort of spewed across a couch watching endless channels of nothingness. You're going to need parameters, you're going to need boundaries, you're going to need systems and creeds at some point. But you can't, can you, continue to see yourself as a victim? I know there are extreme cases where you've had terrible people do terrible things to you. There, for me, the case is even greater for owning the part of you that needs to hold on to the pain. I'm certainly not blaming the victims or anything. I've got no interest or time for doing anything like that. What I mean to say is, if you're in a difficult family, or you have a relationship with any person that's difficult, you must extract yourself from it. This ain't me. That's what Eckhart Tolle says. Extract yourself from those situations. Maybe you're a little kid, then I suppose what you have to do in that situation is communicate. But I'm assuming that most of the people that communicate with me are not prepubescent children, but are mostly young adults and adults of an older age. We can't allow ourselves to be confined to negative relationships. We've got to awaken ourselves to the possibilities, the personal possibilities, the social possibilities, how close to us change is. Don't you feel like you've already lived 1,000 lives and been 1,000 different people? And I don't mean prior to birth, I mean since birth. You can be anyone that you want in a way. I believe we have a nature, but I believe that primarily we live trapped within a billiard ball of the known and the taught, when we could explode into the limitless if we're willing to leave the sterile archipelago of self and explore the deep, deep lucid azure oceans of potential that surround us. Thanks for watching this podcast and going all the way to the end of it. Would you so kind as to click the bell, it might not be there, because over there, and subscribing so that we can infiltrate your serenity and peace of mind with jangling bells and buzzes. Thank you.